Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I have a lot of books on my TBR, so I thought I should get my husband to help me pick out some books to read. I will be reading all of them and sharing my thoughts today. Let's go ahead and get started. I am so excited because today I am going to be reading some of the books that you guys saw Alex picked out for me in the previous video. I will leave it up here because Alex is really funny, but I actually started reading Coach by Devin Perry and I'm actually on page 52 now, so I'm like 15% into the book and I'm loving it. So it follows Ford, Ellis, and Millie. Millie works at her old, I think, high school, and she works in the sports department as an assistant. And now Ford is a single dad. He's back in the same town, and he's actually working at the same high school. It's either high school or university. I don't know what happened, so that's still what we're trying to figure out. He's basically working under her because she's like an assistant, and he's just a coach. So that's basically the premise of the book. So last night I finished Coach on my Kindle. It was very predictable. I enjoyed the book. However, I think that I prefer books with more depth to it, and I just felt like there were issues that created just for the sake of having something. So I enjoyed it. It was just a short read, and I would give this one a solid 3, which is still a good rating in my book. I just, probably wouldn't like read this again. It was a little spicy, so that's all I have to say about that one. But it was nice to read a sports romance. It's a sports romance, but he wasn't like the player, so it doesn't hit the same for me. The next book I'm going to be reading is Before I Do by Sophie Cousins. This book has been on my TBR for so long. This one is about Audrey, and basically the premise of this book is that on her rehearsal day, she bumps into this man that she met 6 years ago and had one amazing day with. And now she's like torn. In the prologue, we just find out that something happened during her wedding day. This book is also in third person, so I'm not really a fan of that because sometimes it can be a little bit confusing remembering the characters' names and stuff like that. Reading about this book and just thinking about the rehearsal day is just so stressful for me. I had my rehearsal day the same day of my wedding, so I don't know what is going to go down, but you guys will be updated. So I am currently on page 246 out of like 340 something, so I'm like 100 pages like behind, and I can't wait to finish this book because I don't know, I'm tired of the time going back and forth, and I just don't know what else there is left. I guess like I still have to figure out what she's going to do. Hey guys, so I am back to give you guys an update. I ended up finishing this book, so I'm ready to talk about it a little bit before I start the next book in this video. I just thought it was really easy to read because the chapters were short, and the only thing is that I didn't really enjoy this book as much. I ended up giving this book a 2.5 stars because there were several things in here. First of all, you guys already know that I didn't really like the way this book was written. The third person point of view, usually like I can read it sometimes, but in this book I just thought it was a little bit confusing. Also with the different timelines, I just thought it was a little bit too much for me. Even though it was bearable, I just thought that I didn't really like the story in this book because she met this what if guy for like a day, so it's like she barely knows him, and for her to feel conflicted and still have some sort of lingering feeling for him after years after meeting her fiance, I just didn't get it. And then also I just didn't feel like she really had a connection with her fiance. My camera died, but I just didn't really enjoy this book as much as I thought I would. I'm happy that I checked that book off of my TBR list. And the next book for this video I'm going to start is going to be Simmered Down by Sarah Smith. I've had this book for a while in my collection, and I know that we're, it's like fall now, but I am going to try to push through this book today just so that I can get into my other reads. This book is about Nikki DeMarco. She owns a food truck. She sees that there's this other food truck that belongs to Callum James, and he's like, I'm not going to move, and she's like, you can't just park next to my truck. I think they end up entering a food truck competition, and it's going to be like a bet. Whoever wins gets to have the spot, I'm assuming. I'm hoping that it'll be a little bit better than Before I Do, and I'm pretty excited. So let's just go ahead and get started with this book. Hey guys, so I am not even halfway done with this book yet, but I feel like I've been reading this book all day. I'm like on page 108, so I did start this book today. I might finish this one tomorrow just because I'm a little exhausted, but so far I just didn't know that there would be kind of like a forced proximity trope in this book. In the beginning they didn't start off on the right foot, so now they're kind of learning a little bit more about each other and getting a little personal. I just don't know how I feel about this book though, because I find it to be a little bit cringy. We'll just have to see how this plays out, but I will update you guys later, maybe tomorrow. Hey besties, I am back to give a little update on this book. I am currently on page 149, so chapter 11. I think I'm like about halfway through with this book, and I really want to finish this one today. Right now I am enjoying it a little bit more than I was earlier, and I just hope that there will be more development with just like the characters and the story. Hopefully the next time I check in with you guys I will be done reading. You guys, it is the next day and I finally finished reading Simmered by Sarah Smith. I ended up giving this one a 2.5. I think this one is a little bit better than Before I Do, but anything below a 3 for me I wouldn't recommend. So a 3 I have to at least be able to recommend to you guys. And I just thought the concept of this book was fun, like food competition, enemies to lovers. But I just found this book a little bit too cheesy for my liking, and I usually like cheesy stuff. There's spice in here, but it was kind of like random. I just didn't like the build-up. I think that's what it is. I found it a little bit frustrating because it wasn't even a misunderstanding. It was just the lack of communication, and I just couldn't handle that. It's just kind of sad that that one and Before I Do didn't really hit for me. The last book that Alex picked out for me is Carrie Soto is Back by Taylor Jenkins Reid, and I'm so excited. I was saving this book for last because I'm hoping that, you know, this is a redemption book because so many people talk highly about this book. I just already know that her writing style is right up my alley. I think it's very unique. I think I'm going to really like this book. So since I'm about to start this book, first thing I need to do is remove the dust jacket. Even though this thing's beautiful, I just can't read with this thing. So this is my second book by TJR, so I can't wait to see what this is all about. And I used to play tennis, you guys, but I haven't played in such a long time, so I'm really rusty. But it's just fun to be able to kind of know the topic a little bit. So let's see what this is all about. I've only read a chapter of this book, and her writing is just like a breath of fresh air. Right now, I think I'm really enjoying this, and it's going to fly by. It just brings back so many memories, and I just can't wait to continue. I've heard things about Carrie's personality, but we'll just have to wait and see. I have about 100 pages left of Carrie Soto, and I can't wait to finish it because honestly it's been really good. I want to know if there's going to be more of the romance like subplots and or just, you know, like what else there is to this book, how it's going to end. I really enjoy the competition and her trainings and everything like that, but it's one of those where if you're not really into tennis, then it might get a little bit boring just because it's basically all about, you know, Carrie Soto and her with tennis. Hey guys, so I am back because I finished reading Carrie Soto is Back, and I really enjoyed this book. I thought that this story was just, it's different from what I've read because this book is basically just about Carrie Soto and her competitiveness and just overall the sport of tennis. Honestly, I was trying to think of what I should rate this book because I didn't know. So because I don't have that 5-star feeling, I think I'm going to give this book like a 4.5, probably a 4, because I love her writing style. I really enjoyed the character development in here and just the overall story. I actually got emotional a few times reading this book, and I also was not surprised with how the story wrapped up. I think that's all I have to say for this one. But I'm very glad that I read this because it was like a different experience from just reading a fantasy or a romance, because after a while I feel like I get tired. But yeah, so I am so glad that I read all of the books that my husband picked out. I know he's not here to end this video with me, but I was glad that he picked out books that have been on my TBR for a while, and even though there are some hits and misses in this video, I am still grateful to have picked up a book, finished a book, and just reading these books brings some sort of happiness to me. So I'm grateful that he was a part of this video idea. Now I can't wait to share with you guys some other books that I have planned, and yeah, hopefully work on my TBR for the month. But that's basically it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know if you guys have any video ideas you want me to do, and I will see you guys in my next one. Bye. Love you guys.